All right, let's get practicing in QuickBooks Online. Grab the link below in the description so that you can follow along. All right, here we are in the QBO gym, and the QBO gym is a place where we have numerous exercises that simulate real-life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Every single month, we come out with new exercises for you to practice and complete, and we break it down for you into 4 different sections. So today we are going to be working in the October cardio section. At the top here is a little animated video that tell you what's going on in Craig's world that month. He is our fictitious business owner. Further down is an interactive quiz that relates to the video up above. And then at the bottom here are all the exercises within this section. So today we are going to practice invoicing delayed charges. You will need to be in the sample company. If you're not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, just go ahead and click on the link below in the description. All right, so our scenario today is that Craig and John did some landscaping work last month for Video Games by Dan. While there, Dan shared with Craig some of the struggles that he had been going through with his health. Craig offered to delay last month's charges to give Dan a little bit of extra time. But since then, Craig hasn't been successful in contacting Dan. Craig asks you to go ahead and release the current invoices from the delayed charge and add a one-time 15% discount on the installation charges. So let's see how we would do this. A delayed charge is a helpful tool for bookkeepers and businesses to track work that's already been performed that will be billed to the customer later. Because it is a non-posting transaction, it doesn't affect any of the financial statements until they are converted to an invoice. So it kind of just like it's there, it kind of hangs out there, but it doesn't really do anything with the financial statements until it's actually been invoiced or moved on to an invoice. Craig used it as a tool to provide some leniency to a long-term customer for an isolated circumstance. You may see this more commonly in real life with consultants or designers that have multiple sessions with a client throughout the month or other period of time, and then they will group all of those charges together and bill for all of the sessions combined at one time at the end of the month. There are a number of ways to create an invoice that includes the delayed charges. So the way we are going to do it in this exercise is just one of those ways. So to get started, on the left-hand nav bar, we're going to hover over sales and then select customers. So on the left-hand side, here is sales. Hover over that and then click on customers. And you will see our list of customers for Craig all appear. We need to scroll down and find Video Games by Dan, and then we're going to go ahead and click on it. So scroll down. You may need to scroll the page and then scroll on the list itself. Here's Video Games by Dan. Just go ahead and click anywhere on that line there. There we go. We will see a list of all of the current charges for Dan. We can choose to only include some of them, but since we're going to release all of them per Craig's request, we're going to select all of them into one invoice, and we just need to hit the top box at the top box above the charges to select all of them at the same time. If you happen to get any kind of pop-ups, go ahead and click out of them. QBO is just trying to be extra helpful for us. All right, so here are those 2 delayed charges. We're going to click on this box right here that I was referring to. That box will select all of them for us. And then we're going to click on Batch Actions and choose Create Invoice. So here is that Batch Actions. Go ahead and click on that little arrow, and then you see Create Invoice. Go ahead and click on that. And when we click on Create Invoice, it is already creating the full invoice for us with the delayed charges included, which is great. Now we need to double check, of course, the invoice for accuracy before we add the discount. It's always good to do this, even though it's pulled everything in for us. Always double checking is a great practice to get into. There are a few different ways that we can apply a discount in QBO. One way is to use the discount percent field, which is towards the bottom here. You see this discount percent field. we can use that. However, this would apply to the entire invoice, and Craig has only asked to give a discount on the installation charges. So this wouldn't be helpful in this particular situation. Another option would be to discount the sales price of the individual products. The downside with this is that it will only track the discount for this one particular invoice. So if Craig is offering discounts to multiple clients, there's not a concrete way to track how much the business is actually giving away in discounts. So again, not ideal. The best way for our particular situation is to add a discount line item and as a product and service. So let's see how we do that. On the third line for this, we're going to under product service, type discount, and then click on the plus add discount. So we have our two charges here. Here is that installation. This is the one that Craig would like to give the 15% discount on. So we're going to add another line that's specific for the discount itself. So let's go ahead in this third line, click on it 2 times, start typing in discount. You will see there it is not a product service created for that, and that's okay. We're going to click on this plus add new discount. And when you click on that, you will see this appear for you. So we're creating another product service here. It's a service, so we're going to select that first. There's your 4 different options: inventory, non-inventory, service, bundle. We want service, click on that. The name for it is going to be discount, so we can leave that as is. In the income account field, we're going to select discounts given. So in this income account field, click into it and start typing in discount for discounts given. This account right here is the one we want. Click on that. And then everything else, we're just going to leave it as is. So we can simply save and close it. And that service discount has now been created. So in the description field, we're going to type 15% courtesy discount. So 15% courtesy discount. Did I spell that correctly? Yes, it does look like I did. In the quantity field, we're going to type the percentage as a decimal. So it's going to be 0.15. And the way you do that to convert a percentage into a decimal, you divide your percentage by 100. So for example, it's 15% discount. So 15 divided by 100 is going to be 0.15. So let's put that here in this quantity, 0.15, tab it over. And now for the rate, we are going to enter the total dollar amount of the item that we are discounting as a negative number. So it's going to be 300, and that's because, again, here is that installation that he is going to give that 15% discount on, only this one. The total for it is 300. So that is the amount we want to use, except we want it as a negative. So negative 300. If you tab over, you will see that QBO is showing up this $45 as a discount. Now, the reason that you put a negative here is because if you did just 300, it's going to show $45. So it's going to be adding $45 to the invoice, not taking out $45 for that discount. So that's why it's important to make sure that this has a negative number with it. In the tax field, we're going to uncheck the box because currently when we created that service for the discount just now, we did not go through and mark it as non-taxable. Something that you may want to do a little bit later if it's something that you're going to be using. This is not a taxable item or service. So for the purposes of this exercise, we're just going to uncheck it for this one. But know that in real life, if this is how you had it set up, you may want to go back to the service and just adjust it so that it is non-taxable versus taxable. So right now it's checked off as tax, uncheck it. And now we can simply save and close. In a real life scenario, you could actually send this to Dan, but since we cannot send invoices from the sample company, we are simply going to save and close. So click on the little arrow down here on the right-hand side, and you will see save and close. Go ahead and click on that. And now that invoice has been saved. So the invoice is completed and both of the delayed charges are marked as converted, meaning that it has been included in an invoice. In addition, and now that the delayed charges have been invoiced, the open balance has decreased by $45, the total amount of that discount. So here you can see that converted, it is now it's now, because it says converted, you know that it has been included in an invoice. Here's that opening balance showing that it is 330 versus 375, because that is what it was before the discount. $45 off is $330. And there you go. You have now practiced invoicing delayed charges. And if you have any questions or want to know more about the QBO Gym, just go ahead and click on the link below in the description. Be sure to leave this session of the sample company open, as you will need it for the next exercise in the cardio section, where we practice adjusting inventory. And I will see you in the next video.